Hello. This is a video that I'm making for my own records, and I don't know if this is gonna help someone out there, maybe give someone some kind of comfort, that you're not alone in your struggles and fears and depression and grief, most of all. So I know there are some people who have a lot of compassion in them. And when you have compassion in you, then if someone dies, like a dog, a cat, child, mother, father, or anyone you loved very dearly, then you fall into a very deep grief, and it can last very long. And people have died from the grief too. Some people have died from grief. That is the demise of the lover. And by lover, I mean the person who really loves, someone who really is able to love all the way. And that is the case with me. For the first 3 weeks, I functioned on autopilot. Kind of like a restless frenzy of straightening things out. Some sort of subconscious running away, actually, from the grief. Then I got very violently sick. And I threw up a whole lot. I had diarrhea. And I had violent headaches. Went on all day long. About 5 days ago or so. And I thought it could have been an intestinal flu that I caught somewhere. My immune system is struggling. Not that strong right now because of the grief, and because I hadn't been sick for many years, until now. And I used to have intestinal problems, real strong intestinal problems, until I started taking diatomaceous earth and sodium bentonite clay every day. I've been taking that for years, and it's been very helpful. I wasn't sick. My intestinal problems had cleared up all of that. My skin cleared up everything. Now I'm starting to get rashes again and itching on my skin and my face. That always happens when I am very nervous or when I'm going through a lot of stress. So now I started up with that intestinal pain again. I don't know what it is. I don't even want to go to a doctor. I don't even want to give these people money, And what good does it do? It doesn't do any good. They could either say, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just it's an upset intestines, or it's some kind of food irritation, or they don't even know that this can be caused by severe stress. They don't even go in that direction. They go by the Merck manual. That doesn't do me any good. It's like my husband telling me, "Oh, I know what the problem was with you and your grandfather. You had a personality conflict." Yeah, that that still doesn't tell me anything. The reasons, or I already know what the reason for this intestinal problem is. No, it's grief. Okay, plain and simply, and it can do me away. It could. The potential is there, and I'm not making this video to make someone feel sorry for me. asked myself before I made this video. I looked in the mirror and I asked myself, well, what's the purpose now of making this video? What are you trying to achieve with that? I guess I'm alone. I feel very alone. I also feel very worried for my husband. I've been trying to get him a new wife for years, actually, because I never really liked living, and been trying and trying, but it never worked out. It was always a complete disaster. And he's also very withdrawn, and he doesn't trust many people. So he knows that he can trust me. So he knows that I'm not after his money. And I'm not saying the other people are after his money, but he has very, very high standards and criteria for a partner. Okay, I'm not talking about looks, obviously. So I'm talking about what's on the inside. And I gave up on that search for him because we have very few friends, actually. And his cousin Kenny in LA, that's how we came up with the name Kenny for our Great Dane. So Kenny Pollock, and I guess that's our only friend here in the United States. And I have some friends overseas. I mean, I would invite Tina to come here with the children and the dog Maxi. They can come here after I'm done with this whole skin suit bag that I am right now. I already have decided that if this is something serious that I have, which it could be because it had been going on for many years, lingering and all of this, my liver values are very, very high. I had that tested. They even called me on the phone and said that you better watch that. You got some very, very dangerously high liver values. Very, very high triglyceride and cholesterol, even though I don't eat any animal products. And I know why that is, why I have these high values, these high levels of dangerous fats and other dangerous toxins and congestion in my liver is because of ongoing stress to my brain. I'm in a constant vice my whole life. My whole life basically, but then particularly the last 5 years, it's been really, really severe, and it's gotten worse, and I tell people all kinds of things on the internet, like encourage people, empower people, but I seem to not be able to get out of my own vices, the vice grip that created for myself in this lifetime. Anyway, Kenny is buried under the manzanita tree, and right next to him is a place that I have been looking at for many, many years now. A place that is wonderful and very peaceful right next to him. And I thought that this would be perfect for me. And so peaceful in the forest under the Christmas trees. There's a whole lot of Christmas trees growing there. It's beautiful. So I would like to be buried there. So when the time comes, I'm making this video as an easy and attorney-free and notary-free thing. Yeah. So it's a will video. It's my testament, as we call it in German. So one can always come back to this video if there are some legal complications, because I want to make sure that everything is clear. I don't want people my family or whoever knows us, to think that Paul is sort of responsible for me leaving. Okay, that is absolutely not the case. He's trying his very best to help me, and he caters to me. He cleans the kitchen, he washes the dishes, he cooks for me, he makes me tea. He takes very good care of me. I'm often way too depressed to even cook for myself. I also have a lot of haters. A lot of haters are probably going to be happy now because of this video. They think, oh, this is cool. I have a lot of people who wish me death. I can feel it. I don't care. It is someone who wishes someone else death, in particular someone like me who does nothing but trying to help. Nothing else other than caring about others, animals and people too. Trying to give advice, trying to make someone else's life better. So someone who wishes death on someone like me is at a very low point mentally. You don't wish someone to suffer or death. Some caring person, if you are mentally totally well, someone who's mentally well would never wish some caring person something bad. Would never laugh about someone or mock someone. So whoever wishes some good person like Eric Jacobs some harm, those people are the most miserable existences, actually. They suffer the most, even though they probably don't even realize it very much. It's very gray outside, very dark. It's raining, bad light, and I don't know. I don't know what to do. The way this feels now, and I always knew this. I knew this was coming for years, but because I knew that he was gonna leave at some point, and I didn't know what's gonna happen to my brain after that. Whether I was gonna be stable enough to handle it, but obviously I'm not. And that's why I'm making this video, to show officially what's going on, that I'm not always functioning, that my other videos, they may be also often austere, but I still keep some kind of a lighter note on it. But underneath, this what you see right now is always going on. It's a perpetual thing. It's a little bit like the poet Sylvia Plath. I can 100% identify with her, except that I try not to get into the negativity when I write. I try to portray that what I want to see. Also in my artwork, I portray the beauty that I want to see in the world, the love, the unconditional love, and all of this. But I feel the same way as Sylvia Plath, always have my whole life. But anyway, I want to be buried next to Kenny when the time comes. And I hope that Paul will find someone who can live here with him, and whoever that may be, someone he can trust, and someone he can go hiking with, because he likes to go hiking and he likes living. Okay? My husband, he loves life. He's not like me. He always told me that he loves to live. He loves this existence. That's good for him. Yeah. I'm super happy for him for that. Yeah. It's very difficult for me to understand, but some people like to live, and they have the right to like to live. Some people don't like to live, and they have the right not to like to live. And I think we all should have the right to die. You know, we all should have the right to commit suicide. And my wish for the future is that hospitals will provide that to everyone, not just to someone who's terminally ill. Why do you have to first get terminally ill and suffer a whole lot? That doesn't make any sense. So, or those people who are suffering in their mind, in their brain, they're gonna have to find some solution on their own with that, and then it fails, and I've already been through this twice, you know, and then go through this tremendous suffering that arises out of that. No, I'm not cool with that at all. People should have the right to die any time. For whatever reason, people shouldn't, the doctor shouldn't even ask the question, oh, why do you need to, you are made in the image of the Christian God, so we need to save you. Yes. Oh. But you suffer like fuck, but they don't care if you suffer. We saved her. Yeah, this is all complete bullshit. You know that. So um, we should have some kind of death ER for people in the hospitals, and it should be made as pleasant as possible. Okay. So if people had a miserable life, at least they have a beautiful exit. At least. So why perpetuate and make the suffering worse? Why make the fear worse and all of this? When people get to that stage, in the end, they should be given massages. They should maybe at least go through some kind of counseling. Yes, if it's a mental thing like mine, some kind of counseling, but in the nicest possible, most compassionate way possible. And I don't know if people can deliver that. But it should just be some kind of program that is easy to follow for any kind of staff member of the hospital. Doesn't even have to be a doctor. Some compassionate counseling, and then if the person is still decided on that, then they should make it super super nice with psilocybin mushrooms and tea, and have some day of real peaceful contemplation. And then at the end of that day, if they are still decided on it, then they should get the euthanasia injection. So that's how it should be done. And instead, what we have right now is pretty darn harsh. We have Christian counselors who don't care at all, who are in a miserable, miserable mental state. A lot of people who are miserable, they cause their kids misery, psychological and even physical suffering. They don't even know what's going on. They don't dig deeper, because most people don't want to dig deeper. They feel like, oh no, I need to run away from that. I better cover that up as fast as possible. Run away, have a TV on in every room, and throw a party every day just to really get away from the nitty gritty that's on the inside. This time I really have something rolling up that is very, very, very dark and grim, like a really, really, really dark and gray cloud that is slowly rolling up, a very serious one, psychologically. So this is a very, very serious mental state, and a state of depression that is much, much deeper than I've ever experienced before. Something that's inexorable. Something that has a stark inevitability written in its character. And so I'm going to leave it at this now. I wish you all the best.